It's that exciting time again where we start off a new season in the AFC Wimbledon Return to Glory. I'm hyped as usual. We have so much hope for the season ahead as we are back in the Championship. Today we will play Blackburn Rovers and we have some transfers to go over. So stay tuned for hopefully our first successful season in the Championship as long as we don't get relegated. What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of the AFC Wimbledon Return to Glory. We are starting season number 4 today. Really excited, I'm really hopeful. The only issue is right now AFC Wimbledon don't have the financial clout to compete with the teams in the Championship. That is our main issue. We don't have the money that a lot of these clubs have. The money is so drastically different in the Championship to League One. I'd almost say it's as big a leap as the Championship is up to the Premiership. But let's get straight into it as there is no league table to look at. We are looking at the transfers we have done during the pre-season, and we will first of all cover the transfers in. And as you can see, we've only spent money on one player. We are trying to make ourselves financially not successful, but at least in the black or in the positive, because we were struggling. We had some players on some big wages. We brought in some players with some big wages, so we have had a financial restructure. But the player we have spent some cash on is Andy Collette. Andy Collette comes in to play as a left back, but can also play as a left midfield and a left inside forward all the way up top, just behind the striker. He's now valued at 400k, he's 25 years old, fairly professional personality, and those stats are decent for a left back. If we get relegated and we can keep him, he would probably absolutely destroy League One. Not the best left back in the Championship, but he has some important attributes. I like them to get forward and be able to assist. So dribbling and crossing is important. First touch is good. The mentals are average. Then he has some decent physicals as well. I'm hoping as well that we can pass on this personality to a bunch of our youngsters. Mides is in trouble though, because our second player in on a free transfer is Leonardo Nunzella, and he is valued at 1.7 million. Again, he's versatile on that left, being able to play all the way up to midfield left. He is better than the player we actually spent money on. He came up after I'd already bought the other left back. Looks better, doesn't have the best personality, but he has better tackling, which is nice, and marking, and his passing, crossing and dribbling aren't as good as the former one. So we could alternate them, play one against weaker teams and then one more defensively solid against the stronger teams. The mentals are decent for this level, but the physicals are where he kind of drops off compared to the other left back. We then brought in Leo Stulak, who is from Slovenia, 24 years of age, now valued at 750k. I just felt like I needed more midfielders, and now I feel like I have way too many midfielders. He was on a free though, so we have loaned him out to Parma, and Parma are paying us 10k a month for his services as well as all of his wages. So you probably won't see him much this season, but he does show some promise. So hopefully with this loan spell he can come back as a 4-star midfielder. We then have who I think is a great acquisition on a free transfer, Dan Gosling. Now 29 years of age, valued at 3.8 million, a spirited personality. He has pedigree and experience, and his tributes across the board are all very, very solid for a team of our standard. Unfortunately, however, though, he's on 13.25k a week, so we had to sell. We then also brought in Matt Grimes, 24-year-old, who I know has played for Swansea at some point in his career, I believe. He looks very, very good, but we're currently retraining him because we have so many central midfielders. We are training him as an attacking midfielder left, valued at 550k now. He's on 7.5k a week. He could be really good for us and has done really well during pre-season, scoring some very, very nice goals. Because of our change of formation as well, which you will see soon, and I've still got the 4-4-2 trained up just in case, we have brought in Mike Petrasso, tell me how to say it in the comments down below, you know what I'm like. A fairly professional winger who can play both sides of the pitch as an inside forward. Dribbling is very good, as well as his flair, acceleration, technique could be slightly better. Hopefully he will come good for us as he has good natural fitness and pace as well. so he can bomb down those wings and hopefully do a job for us when we need him. And then finally, guess what? Another left back. I don't know what happened. I think I just went left back crazy. A lot of left backs were available for free. He's now valued at 425k. He probably is the one that isn't going to get much game time, to be fair. So maybe he wasn't a good signing. Potentially he could come a little better, but he looks weaker than the other two. So we go to the players out, and as you can see on the side here, we have lost Bradley Fuster, John Meades, Ryan Tafazorli for 30k. That was a big blow. George Curtis and Darbo have all left as well, and then a bunch of players left on a free. We just didn't rehire them when their contract came up. Or players like this one here, Egan, there he is, they didn't want to sign a contract with us, neither did Tafazorli, so I got what I could for him. Bradley Fuster has gone to Burton, now valued at 800k. We sold him for 500k. He looks good, he had a great personality, his finishing has gone up, his composure was improving. The problem was we were picking Laura Della Valle over him purely because he was the one performing, Bradley Fuster wasn't. That was the issue. And then Tyler Walker had managed to fight his way into the backup striker position, so we really didn't need Fuster anymore. Unfortunately, now he's gone, my scouts are telling me he's better than both my strikers. But, c'est la vie, you weren't scoring the goals, so it doesn't matter what my scouts say. We also sold John Meades. Now, I was hoping to get a lot more for him. It wasn't because of that horror tackle, although I was angry about that, but I just felt like he'd done his job at this club. I could get a decent amount for him and look to improve the club in other positions, as I've managed to get left backs on free transfers. So he left. He's now joined Colchester, and he still looks decent, I'm not going to lie, and maybe one day we'll bring him back if he keeps improving, but we have sold him on. Maybe that horror tackle had a slight bit to do with it, but we thanked him for his services when he left, so good luck to John Meades at Colchester. Then Tafazorli, this was the hard one. He went back to Scotland, to Dundee. He would have played an important part in our team this season if we'd kept him. He would have been partnered with Pierce Sweeney. The problem was his Iranian nationality, which meant he got called on international duty at the most random times, which really affected us as far as playing him, because he'd come back and I'd completely forget that he'd come back, because it wouldn't be after a normal international break. He got angry at us for not playing him, so he wanted to leave, wouldn't sign a new contract, so we got the paltry sum of 30k. And then I won't dwell over Curtis too much because he never really featured much, but he was a youngster that we had some hopes for, but it never came into fruition. But Fankate Darbo, I feel like he was a complete failure. Looking at his stats now, apart from his leadership and his teamwork and work rate, which are good, and I like seeing that in a player, I'm not really sure what I saw in him as our potential future right back. Spence is so much better than he is. Okay, with all of that being covered, now we are going into our first game in the Championship, and we are playing Blackburn Rovers, who like to play a 4-4-2 formation. The players, standard-wise, are going to go up a lot. I'm going to recognise some more names now. Is that Kieran Davis? Nope. See, I've already not... Okay, Danny Graham, I know. But first player I clicked on, I didn't recognise him. Great start. In fact, Danny Graham is the only player I recognise, so never mind what I said. Anyway, we've played him 3 times. We've won 1, drawn and lost. So this is a game that potentially we could do something in, hopefully. We're going to our team selection, and you can see that I've gone to the formation that I was using with West Ham in the West Ham world. It's the 4-2-3-1. I really like the way it's been playing and performing. I'm using it offline as well. This at the moment is my go-to formation, and the starting lineup is going to be McDermott in goal with Spence on the right, Kellett on the left, Beadling and Sweeney as our 2 centre-backs. Grimshaw is the deep line playmaker on defence with Coots as the supporting one. We have Kennedy on the right, Grimes we are training, he's starting on the left, Gosling as the attacking midfielder, who we are also training in that position, but he's picked it up very quickly, with Laura Della Valle up top. As for the bench, we've got Gogic as the goalkeeper on the bench, Ian Wood, Lucas Zanon, Jack Leach, Mike Petrosso, I butchered that, George Moncur and Tyler Walker. Now, we are still looking on the transfer market and the loan market as well to upgrade on Della Valle, hopefully. We want someone that can bang them in the Championship. Unfortunately, my reputation isn't as good, or the club's reputation and mine aren't as good as the other teams in the league, so we're struggling to find that standout striker. We're also thinking of improving on our goalkeeper, but McDermott did a good job for us last season and I didn't have faith in him, and he has that 3.5 star potential ability. So we may improve on him, we may not. Now this is the time I start getting really nervous because this has done well over pre-season, and I've said that before, and then we have struggled when we started the game. Formations, everything is as expected. We still have our 4-4-2 loaded and ready to go if we need to revert to it. I don't know if that would actually do quite well in the Championship or not, but we have trained them up on this 4-2-3-1. It's what we've been playing all pre-season. I'm always nervous the first game because you hope it goes well. Pre-season suggests to me that it should go well, but we still have Laura Della Valle up top. We still have McDermott in goal, and those are what I feel like my weak points are. But there we go, we're back into the match. We're on key highlights. In the last episode, I asked you guys in the comments to leave what you would prefer the settings to be at for the gameplay. Do you want it on key or extended? Do you want 1 match an episode or 2 matches an episode? And do you want it on 2D or 3D? I asked them to leave in the comments down below what they preferred. If you only watch this series and not the West Ham World, or vice versa, leave it on the series that you watch. Tell me what you would like to see, so we can focus on 1 game an episode and really focus on the important games in the season. It may take us longer, it may take us shorter if we have a really bad season. So let me know what you guys want in the comments down below. Okay, so we are having an attack here as Della Valle is played through by Gosling, and he's hit the post and doesn't pick up the rebound. I feel like a better striker would have scored that. But that is promising signs. We've had a half chance in the first 10 minutes. We've managed to completely keep Blackburn out of this game. All I want from this season, all I want is to stay in the Championship. Just to get some of that Championship money, get our reputation up, get more fans turning up to the games, and get more money to keep improving this squad. Kennedy now crosses the ball into Gosling, and it's 1-0. Get in. Dan Gosling, free transfer signing, has already come in good for us. I'm worried that we'll do really well, because if we suddenly get into the Premiership, I'm not sure I'll be able to attract the right sort of players to stay in the Premiership. I'm not sure we have the fan base for the Premiership, but the money that you get by going up, could I build a team good enough to be competitive in the Premiership? So I'm quite happy to have a season of consolidation here in the Championship. It's our second attempt, remember, as Colette will put a ball into the box and it's straight at Raya. We have already done the Championship once and we started off really well. At one point we were around the mid-table position, maybe even around the 8th position mark. Then we really dropped off. I don't think we have the squad depth. I still don't really think we have the squad depth, but I can't afford that squad depth as Davis goes through and scores. Damn it. Okay, it was a good start. I was hoping for a nice comfortable first game. Looks like it may not be that case, as Davis just gets played through here. Defender just let him run past him, that's annoying. Anyway, 1-1. I just don't want another drop off like last season, because I thought we could 1, be higher than Milton Keynes, and 2, that we could actually stay in the Championship and get a good position and really push on the next season. As Wilcock now has the ball, plays it out wide to Graham. Graham quite far back. Don't know why he was there, but he's put in a great ball and it's suddenly turned around. This is not good. We looked like we were in control the first 10-15 minutes. We're already looking at team talks and making changes. Another thing is I don't really know the quality of my squad against these sides at the moment, so I don't know if I should be better than Blackburn or if Blackburn are too high a quality for us. As far as recognised names, it's got to the point now in the game where there could be some really good players there that I just aren't aware are really good, as they played another ball over the top to Graham, and that is a great strike. Wow, this has changed very quickly. This has gone from good to bad real quick. Danny Graham with a screamer. A lot of really great goals seem to be scored against me. Knew he didn't have the pace to beat my defender, so he hit it first time and McDermott couldn't get there. Not looking good. Okay, Beeling wins the ball there. Plays it to Gosling. Gosling with a ball over the top to Della Valle. Can Della Valle do what the rest of them did? Yes, he can score. It's 3-2. Okay, back in it. This could be a very, very interesting game as Gosling, who looks like he's being our man of the match at the moment, plays the ball over the top to Della Valle, and Della Valle finishes. I keep saying how I don't think Della Valle is good enough to be our striker, but he's the one that scores goals. Maybe I just need to get over my prejudice of looking at his stats and thinking, he looks a bit average. We brought in Jerome Sinclair last season, and Laura Della Valle outperformed Jerome Sinclair. So maybe I just need to get over the fact that I look at his stats and think, meh. Look at our clear-cut chances and half chances though. We've had 4 good chances on goal. All of their good chances have been half chances. So this might just be one of those blips where the performance is decent, but the result isn't. Alright, we told them to show me something else in the second half. Come on boys, let's make something happen. Let's get creative now. Get creative, get that third goal. Make sure we get a point on the first game of the season, as it looks like this could be a Blackburn highlight as Wilcock brings the ball forward, plays in Akapan. Kellett wins the ball, plays it back to McDermott. Clearance isn't great. They've picked it up again. Davis is going to play it through to Graham, and Graham's not scored. I thought that was in. Okay, Graham looks dangerous. Maybe we should look at signing Danny Graham. Okay, we have a lot of people underperforming. We're going to take off Kellett and Sweeney. And Spence is going to swap with Wood. Wood will play right back. As far as going forward, the only person not really is really underperforming is Matt Grimes. Do we go for a double substitution? No, we don't, not yet. We'll give it about 10 minutes and then we'll probably make a change. Okay, come on boys, let's make something happen, please. Go to the team talk again, and we're going to passionately this time say push forward. Get us another goal, boys. We've outperformed. We've done well in this game. We may not be winning, but those stats suggest to me that we've had a good game, as I think Dan Gosling has played it over the top again. And shots like that make me think Della Valle isn't the striker for us. The thing is, they've had 4 half chances, but they've made all 4 of them count. That is the difference at the moment. Their finishing has been a lot better than ours. We're going to take Grimes off and bring on Petrasso. I'm going to try and learn to say that off the tip of my tongue instead of fumbling it every time I say it. Alright, come on boys. The last push. I'm not changing off of counter because we've not conceded since we've gone to counter, I believe. And we seem to have got better chances. So I feel like we're pulling them out of defence. So I don't want to mess that up by changing it to all-out attack and then getting countered on or something. That being said, we're losing a point no matter what, so we might as well go attacking. Now I might have done it too late, to be fair, but yeah, see, now I'm worried that they're going to score. Alright, Grimshaw's played it back. That was a risky back pass, to be fair. It looks like it's going to be a Blackburn highlight, so it doesn't look like changing it from counter is actually helping us. It looks like it's brought our line forward, and Keane almost scores a goal there. Potentially going to attack means we're not going to get a chance. Are we going to get something in the last minutes, or is this just the end highlight? Della Valle from distance. Not quite Danny Graham-esque, but okay, so that is full time. It's not the best performance ever by this side, but it did look like a decent performance. I still would have preferred them to win at home in a match like this. Dan Gosling got man of the match and 9 rating, so that is a good sign. The stats suggest our chances were every bit as good, if not better, than Blackburn's, but we didn't put as many of them away. So I still feel like we need a new striker, and I still feel like potentially a goalkeeper is necessary. Anyway guys, before we cap off this episode, we're just going to have a look at the schedule. Don't really know who the challengers are for getting promoted and who's likely to get relegated. We do have our fellow team of Millwall here. MK Dons are still knocking around, so of course we will come in for those games. Next game that looks like promising for it could be just before the end of the transfer window. So we could come in, or maybe just after. Maybe we'll come in after, because then I can cover any extra transfers. So we might come in for the Ipswich and the Huddersfield games. We're going to come in on Ipswich and Huddersfield. Those are the games that we're going to come back at, and we'll cover any more additional transfers that we have made during that period. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. Make sure to leave in the comments down below the setup you would like for this series. And also, like the video if you've enjoyed this episode and are excited for season number 4 like I am. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do Football Manager videos Monday to Friday. And I'm planning to do a different series on Saturday or Sunday of me just playing a different game where I can generally just talk to you while I play. All that being said, I've been JNO, you guys have been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game.